the first episode is trauma and recovery. Um, our thing is to start every episode with a piece of art. Now, I'm going to start it off with a work of art that I made a while back. It was like 2014, 2015, part of my first ever show, like based on my life. It was called, the show was called Ungrateful Bastard. Malagradecido. I wanted to do like bilingual. I did a series of installations and paintings and whatever in the studio, and this place called the Creative Salon. And I used literally like anything I find in the studio, in the building, to make all these things, right? So the first thing that we're going to pop up right now is the installation. Now we're going to go to, there's a piece that I did where I was young, and I'm not going to really get too much into specifics, but what you can see here is a child under a blanket, or like what we say is, I say a colcha. I don't know if that's just a raw something, but you see a child like hiding under a blanket, and he's behind a door that's barricaded by chairs. Now that, and then you see an arm come out that has some tattoos on it, and on the bottom on the floor you see a note. And on that note, you see, if you were to zoom in, it says, just tell them, let them know it was self-defense, right? And I'm not, without getting into too much detail about that particular situation, it was kind of referencing like domestic violence that I experienced. And right after that, you see a person screaming, and you see like blood coming out, like, and you see just somebody like, what the fuck? Like they're just in utter pain, and then you see it go into graffiti and tagging or whatever, and then there's like drug happening or whatever. You can't really see that zoomed in. I didn't zoom in on that just because I didn't want to like trigger anything. But what I wanted to explore with that particular installation, that area, was how trauma and the things that I had gone through at that time as a kid, how that correlated to what ended up happening as a teenager and what I saw as normal, and the ways that I felt that I had to survive. So when we talk about trauma, when we talk about PTSD, it was like I started as this innocent kid, or this kid that was, you know, fairly new to everything, and then I had to like harden up when I realized that my surroundings were going to be a little tougher than what I projected them to be. I began to put myself in a way that was like this thing called, what we would used to hear on rap songs, military minded, right? So I would navigate my neighborhoods like in ways that was like if I was in a military zone, like, okay, if I move here, if an enemy jumps out here, okay, there's a weapon right there I could use in case we jump into a fight over here. And then it got me into this point, and in a way, I guess you could